Hi, I'm Sally.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Ming.
Pour yourself a cup of tea and join us for this week's episode of Moving Along.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It's the year 2021, and we have a lot to catch up on. So, the last time we talked to you, it was early December of 2020, and then we took a really long break to, recenter ourselves and spend time with our families during the holidays, just take a break. But now we're back, and we have a lot of new things to talk about with you. But before that, we always start off the season and probably the year with an overall New Year's resolutions, goal setting. And so this episode is going to be that again, but we're going to mix it up a little bit and we have a little new kind of feature to add to that. But before we get started, let us start with our weekly recap, or more like monthly recap for some of us. Sally, do you want to get started?
Yep. So I don't really have much to update on over the month. I feel like over the break. So I took Christmas to New Year's off. So it was like a week and a half long. And it felt like it felt really good to just take time off from work. I think this was the first vacation that I took off the whole year.
Mm.
And it was nice to spend time at home. But I feel like I was so busy even being at home. Like every day my mom would like drag me to go out and I don't know, like grocery stores and stuff. And every day I'd be like baking something new. So it was dynamic. um
Dynamic.
I don't know. But now that I'm like back at work, I started taking some new classes. So the
Mhm.
first class that I started taking is pottery again. So this time I'm taking pottery at a studio in downtown Frederick. And like I've only been to one class so far, but the people seem really nice and it's always nice to do pottery. Like it's so relaxing and so I really like it. And the other class that I just started yesterday. So Linda texted me like asking if I wanted to try this like Chinese medicine online course on Coursera. So I checked it out yesterday and I like watched a few of the intro videos. It seems interesting and it's free, so might as well
Oh, it's
try it out.
free. That's even
Yeah.
better.
Hmm.
How did you hear about it,
Mhm.
Linda?
So someone posted in our Slack for the
Um,
the Renegade Tassa, and they were like, "You should check it out." And Sally, I tried watching the videos, but they just sounded so awkward that I just read the
The
transcript on the
transcript, yeah.
bottom. Yeah.
mm.
They're obviously reading off a script and their background
Mm.
is so funny.
They're like looking into the camera, like dead in your eyes. It's so weird.
They look so soulless when they're reading it, but I mean, it's interesting information, and it downloaded the textbooks or the required reading or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Wait, I couldn't find them.
I'll send you the links.
Okay. I mean, I passed the first module without doing anything.
Already? Wow. Yep. But yeah, that's all I have to update you guys on. What
Mm.
about you, Linda?
Mm. Also, I feel like nothing major, but it's about the little things recently. Um, I guess like one thing I want to shout out is I played Animal Crossing with M recently. I think it was over the weekend, and it's the first time I opened it since months and months ago, like before Turkey Day or Thanksgiving, like um in September-ish. And then like it's a snowy landscape now, and M showed up on my island wearing this like red outfit with like the Christmas hat. Like what is this outfit? Like why are you showing up like this? And then they're like, oh, like I gotta find the nearest tree. And it turned out that M dressed up as Santa, and then they put like presents under one of my
Oh,
pine trees.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, this
cute.
is
that's
so
so
cute. Like
cute. That's
I
so
never
thoughtful.
expected this to happen. Yeah, that's so nice. And they have like cute presents too, like a pop-up book and like
Mm.
plushy stuff. So I'm getting riled up now and I'm demolishing my island to make
Are you back are you
um
more invested
something
now?
else. Mm,
Reinvested?
A little bit. Yeah, I feel like it's cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. That's all you have to say for the
What
entire
else can
month.
I say?
A month of Animal
The
Crossing.
entire month.
How's work? I feel like you
It
always
only
have
happened last
little
week.
updates.
I feel like work is getting better because I'm doing things like our social media and they're giving me a lot of power with that. So it feels nice to have something creative to work on. I know Ming does this like every day normally, but it's like you're not like just putting out fires, you're actually making something new. So that's like making me feel better about work. I feel like the problem is that I never felt so like subservient in my role before because things like the tasks are normal. Like I like doing them, like organizing things and planning
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But when you're in a company, it's like you're just doing these things because someone else doesn't have time to do
Mhm.
them. So you don't feel as invested. And I'm like, I guess this is what work is like. Because when you're planning your own events, like you know what the content is supposed to be, like you're looking forward to people to show up, but you don't really have anything when you're planning meetings for other people.
Mhm.
Um, so it's like super hierarchical, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like I understand what you mean by
Okay.
with social media, it's like a way of being more creative outside of like the regular tasks you do. But I'm like, for me, in terms of work, I
Mm-hmm.
was, especially last week, I think, just going back to work, I was like feeling super burnt out on the creative end. Like they, so we have the Instagram now, and so they constantly want to do new things and they want to talk about doing like live events or whatever. And so I feel like I'm using up all my creative energy or all my idea making for them. And that's fine because it's
Mm-hmm.
not like I'm doing that much creative stuff on my own. But like when it comes to like posting for moving along or posting for my plant Instagram or just, I just feel so like, about it. So kind of a little bit burnt out, but also I enjoy doing that, so I wouldn't want to do anything else, I guess. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm feeling kind of this week has gone by really slow for me. This is generally how I would summarize my work
Mm.
Mhm.
outlook right now. But
Ming,
besides
on your
work,
plant Instagram, oh, sorry.
what?
I was gonna say, I feel like your content is really creative already on your plant Instagram. Like, there's
It's
always a
just
new plant to
plants.
see for some reason.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But
It's
there's
the
Yeah.
ones
always
you
like
do the
something new, you
drawings.
know?
Hmm.
Yeah. Also, on your
Yeah.
stories, you point out stuff, but like, I don't even know where you're pointing at. Like, is
No,
it
she
something
points out the
growing?
new growth, like the buds.
Yeah. That's
How am I
content on
supposed to know
plant
there's new
Instagram
growth?
because
She
I circled
circles
it.
it.
Anyway,
Okay, I
Oh
just
my
noticed when you were
gosh.
circling the warts.
they're not worse. Okay, okay. Anyways, bringing it back. Um, yeah, but besides work, I think this past month has been like you all, I took off some time, so it's been really relaxing. Um, yeah, I don't know. The end of this year wasn't that significant because it's like we're still stuck in this weird limbo space anyway, especially after last week. So it's just like, did anything really change with this new year? I don't really know. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was nice to have time off. And I think I'm gonna start taking more PTO. I think that is the answer to burnout. Like, if I
I
have the
agree.
days, what am
Mm,
I saving them up for? It's not like I'm going traveling anytime soon. Like, I might as well just use them for here and there.
Mhm.
But I always have that like guilt about using PTO,
mhm,
so I need to work through that.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are reserved about taking time off now that like a lot of people are working at home since they're
Hmm.
going to be at home anyways, or like you can't travel anyways. But it is still nice to have your mind off of work for some time.
mhm.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
that is very true. But
Oh,
that's my update. Oh,
another thing for our New Year's, we didn't get to do our hot pot tradition this year.
oh yeah. Okay,
Mm. Yeah.
I was very thrown off. So if you all haven't listened before, we do the hot pot tradition on like New Year's Eve, but we have a fourth person, where's our friend William, and I was kind of thrown off by what happened this year because normally we do like the Secret Santa gift exchange around Christmas-ish, kind of, sometimes not, but then we do like the New Year's Eve. But then we were waiting for people's gifts to arrive, and then William ended up in like
Mm.
Massachusetts of all places.
Massachusetts?
Was it
William,
Massachusetts?
why were you in
I was
Massachusetts?
just so thrown off by like I thought we were waiting for him and then we were gonna
Mhm.
decide if we were gonna do hot pot, but then like he was gone and then he was in Texas and I don't know what happened. So basically, I've opened my present, but like separately.
You opened it accidentally.
Okay, yeah. The first time was accidental. The second time I asked your permission
The second,
because I opened it and then I got in trouble, so I like packaged it back up. And then I opened it again.
I opened my card, but haven't opened the present yet.
Oh, maybe we
And
should just
Linda,
forget William.
yeah. At this point, it's not a secret anymore,
Yeah.
but it's fine. Well, it wouldn't be a new year episode without us going over our 2021 New Year's goals slash resolutions. So we'll be diving into that real soon. But for this episode, we also really wanted to talk to write a letter to our future self and maybe reflect on what's been happening this year and what we hope to achieve in the future. We'll see what's to come in our letters. But first off, let's set some new goals and resolutions for this year. Ming, I hear you have two.
Yes. I don't know. I guess my approach to resolutions and goals this year was to be more like relaxed with myself and like I'm not doing habit trackers or any of that. So none of those type of goals. But my first goal that I immediately thought of at the new year was to improve my posture. And I just have like a really bad history of slouching. I think just as a kid, I was always carrying really heavy backpacks and then I was never like standing upright. And you know, they always connect posture with like confidence. And I think that was definitely the case for me because I noticed that like when I'm in awkward situations or situations I don't feel comfortable with, I tend to like just lean forward a little bit more. So I'm gonna work on that. Hopefully working at a desk all day doesn't like mess with that, but I'm gonna try. And I told my family to keep me accountable. So if they do see me slouching, then they'll call me out on it, but we'll see if they'll do that.
You should buy
And
the slouching thingy on it
okay,
that
I've
you
seen
wear.
those around and I'm very curious if like does your body retain that form even when you don't have the thingy off?
I don't
Or
know.
does
I've
it just
only
go back
worn
to
it for a
Not
slouching?
few
really.
days. Okay, so my dad bought one for me because he caught me like slouching the whole break,
Got
and
you.
I like now have to wear it whenever I go home. But I don't like it's not too bad honestly when I'm wearing it. It just feels like I'm
Mm,
wearing like a backpack, but it's not heavy.
mhm.
But then after I take it off, I don't really I feel like I still go back to it,
Like
but maybe it takes
regress.
time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Training the muscles. I mean, isn't a lot of it just like your back muscles need to be like stronger or something like that?
I don't know.
Okay, okay, yeah, maybe I'm making that up, but
I feel like
I
my
feel
back
like
muscles are strong.
you could definitely train your body. Maybe just habit. I don't know. I'm gonna work on that because I'm not trying to be like an old lady that's like hunched over.
Hmm. True.
You can do cat and cow. I heard that
Mm,
helps.
that's true. The yoga positions.
Hmm.
Um, other than that, my second goal is I just thought of this on the spot just now, but um, I don't know if I don't remember if I said this in the opening, but my Chinese classes with the adoptee group is officially over. The instructor wasn't able to keep doing it, so now it's on me, I guess, to find my own resources and pay for resources and school, I guess. So I'm gonna maybe not find like lessons right away, but I am gonna try to continue my what do you call it consumption of like Mandarin speaking content and media. And I stopped watching Peppa Pig, but you know I can bring her back. And over the break, I did get some textbooks on how to like stroke order and stuff like that. So I'll keep practicing that. And I'm not gonna put pressure on myself to like have a certain amount memorized or a certain amount be able to do a certain amount by the end of the year, but just constant like consuming, I guess, and
Mhm.
exposing myself to it. So that is my second kind of goal or resolution.
Yeah. What great goals. So
Thanks, Sally.
I for me, I think for 2021, I really want to become more productive. I feel like I waste a lot of time, like just, I don't know, scrolling my phone or like just not
Mm.
doing anything, especially in the mornings when I'm like getting up because I'm not like Ming where I can get up like right when my alarm rings. I have to like roll around in bed, like scroll through my phone for a while. And it takes me like honestly it takes me too long, especially on work days when I need
Mm.
to get up and like go into the lab. It takes me so long to get out of bed. So I need to work on that. And I need to work on not looking at my phone like first thing in the morning because that also
Mm.
wastes a lot of my time and I'm not doing
Mhm.
anything productive on it. So yeah, that's my goal.
Wait,
And
Sally, have you tried? Because that was not my goal, established goal, but it was just something I wanted to try. And it's like
mhm,
as simple as putting your phone like on your away from you, so you have to like cross the room to get it when you wake up.
mm,
So I did that for a little bit, and it kind of
yeah.
did help. But then
Mhm.
eventually, I was like, I'm too lazy, so I just put it closer to me.
Yeah, because my alarm's on my phone, so then
Yeah,
I would have to go all the way up to also, before I go to sleep, I like to look at my phone.
yeah.
So, it's just too inconvenient.
Mhm.
I don't know. I
I
just need, like,
tried
better
putting mine on like the table too, but
mhm. Yeah,
oh,
I think I just
oh
need better
sorry.
self-control.
Mm.
And yeah, another thing I wanna work on is, like, being more consistent with my routines. So, I, like, have this plan with my mom that, like, at in the evenings every day where we do like exercise at the same time. So my mom like
Oh.
does exercise at home and I'm supposed to do exercise like ab exercises or like
Mm.
whatever workout videos here. And I've
Mhm.
been slacking off. Like I haven't been doing them and I've just been telling her that I did them. So I feel like I need to go back into the routine of actually doing them.
Lying to your mother. Wait, Sally, maybe you guys should establish
I
what we
mean, your
had.
mom could be lying to you too.
That's
No, she
true.
would not. She like
You should do
actually yeah.
the photo evidence. Like show your sweaty
Oh
face.
my gosh, no, no, that's too much pressure. Because then sometimes I might actually wanna skip. But
Wait,
but I
but
should at
Sally, that
least,
was
like
that was the only thing that kept me accountable to you when we were doing our
yeah, that's true.
thing.
Yeah, but I can't go back to doing Chloe Ting, like, 2 week whatever, 1 month,
Yeah,
workout
no,
plan, that was too much. That was also when we weren't working, so now that we're
that's
working,
true.
it's just I feel so exhausted after work every day.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I told Meg this, but I wanna go on a walk in the morning.
A walk
I had a
in
plan
the
to go on a
morning.
walk. I had a plan this morning to go on a walk, but I couldn't get out of
Hmm.
bed. So I'll try again next week.
Okay,
But yeah, that's
not
it.
tomorrow, but next week.
Yeah, next week.
Those are very
Not tomorrow.
yeah, those are very productive goals or like
Mhm.
very like improving yourself, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mhm.
guess it's more like habit setting,
Mm,
but
yeah.
I don't wanna track my habits, so it'll just be a loose habit setting.
Well, this will hold you accountable when
Wait, don't tell yourself that though.
we'll do our like year in review episode, and then we'll look back on how many times Sally went on a walk.
I think last year, at least for me, I did kind of work towards the resolutions that I made at the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
Like I said I would like work bullet journal in Chinese or something like that. And like I talked about working out too, and we did that Chloe Ting challenge.
That is
So
true. That is
we
true.
did like kind of fulfill our goals.
Hmm.
Yeah, Linda.
Mm. Okay, let me try to make up some goals because I usually don't do any resolutions. I only do them for the podcast.
Oh,
um, maybe like make latte art because I've been trying since the beginning of the year, so I feel like it's good timing to conveniently make it a New Year's resolution. It's so hard. Because once you pour it, like sometimes like a little drop comes out and it just like ruins your whole your whole picture. But it's like I can feel the progress coming. So that's been like encouraging to do. I made one this morning and it had like the little tulip shape, but it was like
Oh.
a fat blob and then like another blob on top. So maybe next time.
Linda, I like
Um,
seeing your TikToks because I have seen the growth in your latte art from being like unrecognizable to like at least I could tell what it is.
yeah, because at
That's
first I'm
cute.
like celebrating whenever something actually formed because before I couldn't even make anything appear.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Or I feel like I need another one.
I mean, you don't have to force it.
I feel like maybe cooking more or like learning new recipes that
Mm,
I can adapt kind of because usually when you see recipes, you're like, oh, I gotta follow this. And then if you have some ingredients and you don't have other ones, then I'm kind of like,
Mhm.
I don't know what to do anymore. But
mm,
if you know like what to substitute and like what ingredients go well together, you can just kind of make something nice out of whatever you have and like not stress about following a recipe or something because you know it'll like
Mhm.
taste good somehow. Um, that would be nice.
Yeah.
that's a good goal, especially if you plan on maybe moving out this year,
Hmm.
perhaps. That's a good goal to have, the
Yeah.
cooking.
I feel like that's so hard though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, for cooking, maybe it's like doesn't really matter that much, but like if you're talking about more baking kind of
Mm.
cooking, like actually this past weekend, I was trying to make like bows with like filling inside. And I was making a dough and I was like looking
Mm-hmm.
at 3 different recipes who all claim to like make really fluffy buns. So I like kind of combined the 3
Oh no,
recipes and like made an experimental dough and like
No.
it was
how'd that
terrible.
work?
It was like rubber.
I
Didn't
okay.
Also
My
I think my
sister,
yeast was dead, so it was a disaster.
Oh, you had to activate it.
I did, but I think it was already opened, so it probably died
They
oh,
died.
in proper storage. I don't know.
next time.
Yeah, next time.
But my sister is like into baking. She's always been into cooking and baking, I
Mhm.
guess. But
I
I got
saw
her a
her
cook.
new
Yeah,
I
her
saw her new
Instagram.
Instagram.
I got her a new. I guess it's a cookbook, but for like dessert. And she's gonna bake her way through it. Like she's gonna do every recipe in the
Wow.
book. And so far
Mm,
she has been. Like it's been pretty good. But I think that is true that baking is way more of a science. Like you have to
Mhm.
get all the measurements correct. Whereas like
Yeah.
cooking, it's like throw
you can
whatever.
see it happening, kind of,
Yeah.
so you can adjust
Yeah.
it.
But good resolutions, everyone.
Okay, I'm glad we approve.
Yeah, I approve.
It's better than
Like
last year, Linda.
Oh my god.
tattooing, but maybe Linda will be an expert latte artist at the end of this year.
We'll see. Okay, moving on to our next agenda. So we all wrote letters to our future 30-year-old self,
Hmm.
and we're gonna read them out loud, and then maybe when we're 30, we'll look back at them and laugh. But this is
Wait, I
what we
feel
Wait,
have.
like
laugh?
uh
Huh?
we should provide background. Like I don't remember why we chose 30. Do you guys remember?
I think I think we just chose a random number.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you
An
remember?
arbitrary number.
Yeah.
I
I
think
remember
yeah,
Sally
okay.
wanted to do a younger number so we could actually potentially, you know, react on the podcast live. So in a few years. But then I
Mm,
think we decided to go like way longer to 30
dramatic.
because we wanted to like a big like
A big
yeah, a big
change. Mhm.
change, a nice round number. But
True. But we're not gonna be 30 at the same time.
I mean,
But
I
it's
mean,
fine.
we
a few months off,
for some time.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
little baby.
Yeah. I think also 30 is like an age where it's old enough where like there's a big change, but also we might still be doing this podcast because we might not be moms yet,
Potentially.
potentially.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
why is that exclusive? Like,
Wait, we talked about
if we're
this.
moms, then we can't do it anymore.
Okay, we should link the
Okay.
episode where we talked about.
it's our last episode that we did.
Oh, it was the last one, yeah.
Yeah,
Where we
the
were
one
talking
where
about
like
the future of the
mhm.
podcast, and we said that we would podcast and keep going until the first baby.
Yeah.
So who
We'll
knows?
see.
Oh, that was
Who knows?
the end date.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, I guess I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
dear 30-year-old Sally.
Don't laugh so
I'm
soon.
not laughing. Okay,
Not
okay.
laughing.
Hello, it's me, 9 years from the past. I'm
Are
sorry.
you Adele?
This is so funny. Okay, I hope this letter finds you well. I hope that you figured out what you want to do in your life, or at least are closer to figuring it out, because right now I'm feeling pretty lost with so many questions on my mind. Is grad school the right choice for me? What am I even interested in studying? Should I try doing an entire career change? Can I handle being away from my family for an extended period of time? And what new opportunities would come up if I do move away? Will I find another significant other? Is the pandemic over yet? The future that feels so scary and uncertain for me right now must feel like ages away by the time you are reading this. I'm sure that by then you will have found the answers to many of these questions and probably have a new set of unanswered questions bogging your mind. Although this period of time has been rough for me, I have a lot to be grateful for at this moment, and I've learned to treasure the bits of daily life that I used to take for granted, such as spending time with family and properly learning how to play mahjong, Zoom calls, and occasional gatherings of friends, and making pottery. I hope that in the future you'll keep a hold of these things that make you happy and that you can be at peace with how your life is going while worrying less about what is to come. Also, you better still be doing this podcast at age 30. And I hope that you do more of the things that you wanted to do but seemed crazy before, such as adopting a cat slash dog and taking a solo trip post pandemic. Love, a younger Sally. That's
Oh,
it.
Oh.
wait, that was so sweet.
Mhm.
I especially like the ending part where you were talking about all the things that you wanted to hold.
Yeah, I wrote this last night in like at 12 a.m. So it's not the best, but
No, I
yeah.
think actually my letter follows a similar format,
Mhm.
but we can get to that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Linda.
I feel like
Are we
at
doing
30, oh, sorry.
Oh.
oh,
I
go
feel like
ahead.
at 30, though, like our troubles, I guess, that we're facing right now must feel like so insignificant.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know how I'd react to this when I'm 30, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll react live on the podcast.
Okay, Linda, do you want to go next?
I feel like my thing was longer, so
Mm.
uh okay. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Letter to my future self is the heading. There's no salutations.
My gosh.
So
Oh.
It's like an
by the
essay.
time you're 30, maybe. By the time you're 30, I hope your group chat with Sally and Ming isn't still called body pumped with that emoji. Um,
Exposed.
Trying to brainstorm some grown woman options, but we can think about that years in the future. You used to be very intrigued by cosmopolitan things when you were younger. I hope you got to fulfill those urges because if you're 30, it's too late now. You're either completely enmeshed in the cosmopolitan life, so you're not weird about it anymore, or you're into uh classical shit. What was I writing? But you should have that vibe about taking care of business in conjunction with the aesthetics of taking care of business. I feel like that should feel natural by the time you're 30. Remember when you were 22 and trying to relate to your 30-year-old coworkers about their parenting life? I hope that time has come for you too, or is
Ooh.
coming soon. You know that it will be the most transformative love you have ever felt. It's weird to try and dream of your ideal 30-year-old life while your actual 30-year-old self has their own dreams and goals that you could have thought of. I was looking at other letters people wrote to their 30-year-old selves because I didn't know what to say, but the more I read them, the more I kind of recoil from writing this. I don't think I have any advice because I'm sure at 30 you'll know better than me, and also you hate getting advice. If you heard me say never give up on your dreams, you would be like, is this Naruto? But
Oh my
yes, never give up on idealism and the possibility of radical change. Even though so far the pattern has become more radical over the years. We are one. Warmly yourself.
Warmly?
Ew. What?
That was warmly spelled with an O, right? Like warm.
Warmly, yes.
Warmly. Just clarifying.
Warm.
That was really nice too, Linda.
Yeah,
I think
it was sweet.
what are we saying about the 30-year-old self? Like how can you write about your hopes for your 30-year-old self when like the actual 30-year-old self is gonna have entirely different
Mhm.
hopes and dreams? That's like that should be in a
Mm.
book, honestly. Because that's so true.
What?
I mean, that's a really good way of putting it. Like, how can we write these letters to ourselves, like wondering what's happening when like
Mhm.
we're kind of gonna be entirely in a different new headspace, almost like an entirely different person, maybe.
Different era too. Like the world
Yeah,
will be so different. I don't know what kind of new tech gear will be out by then.
maybe we'll have
Is that
self-driving
what you're
cars.
thinking about?
No, not just that, but
But yeah, who knows? Who even knows what worries? We can't even like worry about our future worries because we have no idea.
we have no idea.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Okay,
Did you
Ming.
enjoy? Oh,
Oh, sorry.
we can talk about that after. I'll go on to mine because I think
Mm.
mine is a similar length to Linda's. It sounds like, but okay. Dear 30-year-old Ming, I have a lot of questions to ask you, but unfortunately, I will not know the answers until you read this. First of all, please tell me that the coronavirus has been eradicated from the world. Hopefully, it has been long forgotten or at least acknowledged as a scientific triumph. But right now, that's the biggest social, political, economic, and health news. Anyways, 30 years old seems so old, but I remember that's how I felt about 18 and 21. So I guess after 21, the biggest milestone for birthdays is 30. By now, I hope you have had your career somewhat figured out. I at least wish that you're happy and engaged with the work you're doing. And if you went back to grad school, hopefully that extra degree really did help. I also hope that a job or a person may have taken you farther away from home. You did go to college right next door to your high school, so maybe you've seen more of the world, or at least the country. And speaking of a person, there's no pressure on that. Just like everything else, I hope that you're happy and content with whoever it is, or even if it's just you. You probably won't remember, but the Ming writing this is really content right now. Obviously, the public health crisis I mentioned isn't great, but I just read one of my old college journals a few nights ago, and it's wild to see how much of my opinions and perspectives have changed in just a few years. Um, when you read this, that's only 7 or 8 years between you and me now, depending on when you read it, and I'm sure a lot has changed. But also, I hope that good things have remained constant. Your love of plants and reading, maybe not this podcast specifically, but definitely this friendship that you have, and maybe even your realistic yet romanticized way of looking at the world has remained with you. You better not be too beaten down and jaded. With love, 22-year-old Meg.
All with
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. I felt gross writing that, but like it also felt appropriate. But yeah,
Mm.
I, how did you guys feel writing these letters? Because I personally felt kind of like squeamish to start.
Yeah. I feel like the thought of writing it
Yeah.
was hard, or it felt like a block to writing it, but when I was actually writing it, it was easier than I thought.
Hmm. I'm curious, did
Mm.
you guys think of,
It feels better than trying to write to your past self.
oh,
True.
that's true. But when you were writing this, did you think of like when you were writing this to someone, were you thinking of it as like literally you just writing to you? Or like for me, I was writing it at the address, I was addressing it to myself, but almost while I was writing it, it almost sounded like I could have been writing it to anyone in the future, kind of like
Mm,
um I wasn't thinking too much about like my own internal thoughts. I don't know. I don't know
mm,
if that makes sense, but like I was thinking of a more concrete person, I guess.
yeah. I
Mm.
think I was writing it for like my future, like Sally in the
Mm,
future. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to target it so that if I do read back at this, like, was it 9 years in the future, then I can. I don't know. I would maybe have a response for like the questions that I asked, or
Mm.
have some,
Mm.
I don't know, something to respond to.
Oh, it's interactive.
I don't know.
Wait, that's a
Interaction.
good point. I think that was a difference between our letters, or
Mm.
more of like questioning, or more just like reflecting on your current self. I wish I'd written more, honestly, right now. Maybe I'll edit it, but I wish I'd written more about like my current state of being, so that like future me can be like, oh,
I think you did
little
allude
Ming.
to it. Yeah.
Mm. You said Ming is content.
That's
22-year-old
true.
Ming. I thought
Like
that was
compared to
nice
your
that you're
younger self.
reassuring.
Yeah. I
Mm.
think I like your point that you're like, when you're younger and looking back, like looking up to 21 or 18, it seemed like a really old age. But then when you're actually 18 and 21, it doesn't seem like you're that old.
Yeah,
So when you're 30, I don't know how it's going to be.
Mm.
we'll probably still feel like super
Also, I
young,
felt
and
kind of
like,
like intimidated.
mhm, by
Oh, sorry.
writing
Intimidated?
it.
Yeah, intimidated by myself of my 30-year-old self, because I'm like, who am I, this little girl, to tell my 30-year-old self something like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
like
feel like I
no
couldn't give
advice would be helpful.
advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Mhm.
give any advice.
A lot of hopes.
You were kind
Mhm.
of asking for advice though. You were like
Yeah.
asking your 30-year-old self all these things.
Mm.
But by the time they read it, it'll be too late.
Yeah, they can't answer you unless maybe they can come back. Who knows? Who
Back to
knows
the
what the
Future?
future will
Wait.
hold?
I mean, new technology is possible.
That's true. That's true. I'm reading this book. It's that science book. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but the one that Stefan recommended, and I'm on the second book of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And kind of the idea is that it's like the classic like alien invasion kind of plot, but what's different about it is that the aliens are invading 400 years into the future. So like they know that they're coming, but they have to prepare for it, and they have 400 years to prepare for it. So a
How
lot
do
of
they know
the
they're coming?
it's like basically the aliens found a way to communicate with the humans, and they're so far away that it will take 400 years for them to get to them, but they've told them they're coming, basically. That they told them that they're invading. So
Oh.
a lot of the book is about like how they're planning for the future, but also like there's these people that have been chosen to hibernate so that they'll be alive when the time comes that they arrive.
Oh,
So
it's
like
like
preparing.
Passenger.
Yeah,
You know the
yeah.
movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird to think about, because they're also trying to like figure out how they can like battle these aliens, but like think 400 years into the future. How can their great 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 whatever
Mhm.
be the ones fighting them? I don't know. It's very interesting. Time is an interesting concept in any kind of like science fiction
Yeah.
media. But do you
What
guys
an
think you'll
interesting
actually read
turn.
this or save it? You think the letters?
Yeah. Are we gonna put it on our blog?
Wow, nice way to plug the blog. So, Linda?
Yeah, it'll be there. Like, would I save it? I'll save it on the blog.
Hopefully the blog survives.
I guess it's also here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yes, as we always say, this
Because
is
I
like
cannot see
time
myself
capsule.
writing it out
Oh no.
or printing it out.
Mailing it to the future me. Do they do
How
that
would that
service?
happen?
Like delaying mails until later?
Delaying mail. Well, maybe 30 years is, I mean, 30-year-old us isn't that far away, but like, I don't think the post office would do that. It would just
Maybe
be
the post
holding on
office
to
is
it.
gone by then.
You should, if you really want to be surprised by it, you should give it to someone to give to you, like your mom or something.
She's not gonna remember.
Oh,
It'll end up in the trash or something.
We can give it to each other.
yeah. And that way we have to ensure that we're friends. Wait, this sounds like the plot to like some kind of like comedy movie where like we're no longer friends in the future, but we have to find each other to give each other
With
the
the
letter.
letters.
Oh my god.
I
We have
just
to like
thought of a
move
good
back to the
plot.
same town.
Yeah. And even though we hate each other or something, we have to like, we've been sworn to deliver the
And
letter.
then somehow we get like roped into living to this in the same apartment, and then
Yeah.
like drama happens.
Wait, should we write this?
What is happening?
What is a screenplay?
It's
Anyways,
moving along fan fiction.
maybe one of our fans will write it. Our one fan.
No one's gonna write it.
Well, that was very refreshing. I think it was a new way of like looking at our resolutions, or we always do this type of episode where we're like, let's think of like our goals and like the future, but this is a nice way to make it more tangible in some ways.
But even though we wrote these letters, I still feel like, or a theme in our letters is that the future is still very intangible to us right now, or like very uncertain. So that's after the last year, we've all learned not to have very specific goals in mind for a year because you never know how it's gonna go. So
That's true.
I don't know.
What a great note to end on.
Okay, y'all. I have an amendment to my haphazard goals from earlier. My goal in 2021 is to be able to say a nice conclusion without saying the word I hope. And then without saying the word this episode. Or I guess that's one thing. I hope you like this episode. So no. Anyways, oh my god, now I don't know what to say. We had fun, or at least it was fulfilling. I don't know about fun, writing our letters to our future selves. And I think what I enjoy the most is listening to what Sally and Ming wrote. And okay, trying to analyze this. I feel like some common themes are like we all mentioned this podcast kind of, or we talked to each other because I mentioned our group chat. And then Sally was like, you better start be doing this podcast. And then Ming said, it doesn't matter if you do the podcast. But we all had that degree of connection. And I feel like we have hopes for our future selves, but not of the world in general. So I think that's still a positive note to take home, that no matter what happens, your future self is all you're going to have, as well as your past self. So I'm glad that we were confident in that, and our tone and the way we read our letters to ourselves kind of reflects that also.
Well, that was a really good goal to put in mind, Linda, and a good summary too. If you like this episode, you should rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out.
And you can find us on Instagram and on YouTube at Moving Along Pod. And starting this season, we'll be uploading bonus content to our Medium blog, which we teased in our episode. Follow us there at medium.com/@moving along.
So by the time this episode is released, you can find our letters in our very first blog post, a momentous occasion to start our new platform. So until next time.
Bye.